Okay, we are live. It is 5:01 PM on Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. We'll call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Weigel.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Daniel.
Here. In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on July 23rd. Were there any changes or corrections? Okay. Hearing none, I'll make a motion we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up, we have encouragement agreements. The first one is for 1407 East Hannah Street. Come on up. I need your name and address and what you're planning to do.
Marcus moved,
Yeah.
1407 East Hannah Street,
Okay.
and I built a privacy fence that's past the yellow line.
Got into the encouragement?
Yeah.
Yep. And so as we're looking at the map, if you will, it's the yellow line that comes near the blue line, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Any concerns from the utilities department heads? No? Okay. When did you build it? You're not in trouble with it?
It was right at the beginning of the year.
Beginning of this year?
Yeah.
Okay, did you have utilities call or
Yeah,
locate all
the
stuff?
contractor called
Okay.
them out.
Yeah, I figured that usually they do, but you said no issues, you said, from the department heads?
No.
Okay. Questions from the board?
No. If they don't have any questions, I don't.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the encouragement agreement for 1407 East Hannah Street as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. Rosie?
Okay, I'll get this back to the planning tomorrow morning,
Okay.
and then you go back in there and finish it.
Okay.
I think you were there when.
Yeah, I have papers for it.
And I'll tell you, and this will be for you guys too, I'll tell you what we always say, and that is, if for some reason our utilities do have to get in there, and it's not time sensitive, we will let you know and you can take it down, take the fence down so we can get in there. Or, if it is time sensitive and we can't get a hold of you, we will take it down as gently as possible, but it'll be on your dime to put back up.
Okay,
Again, likelihood of that is probably not, but
I do have a question.
yes.
If it's inside the fence, do we still have to tear it down? If there's
What do you mean
room?
by that?
Like I have a 5-foot gate.
Mhm.
If there's,
If our vehicle can get in, so I don't know what utilities are back there.
So here's the issue is if I need to get a truck, you're going to apply, obviously, it's RMC.
Because you're RMC.
If they need to get a backhoe back there and it doesn't fit through the gate, they're going to take it down.
Okay.
But
So that's the only issue. If we can get a truck back there, if we get a rig back there, whatever, to get whatever the issue is fixed, not a problem. We'll work with you on that. It's just a matter of if for some reason we can't get in there, that's why we have the easement. That's the whole purpose of it, so. Okay. Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next up is the encouragement agreement for 107 South Whitley Street. Come on up. Again, name and address, please.
I am Pamela Ray Townsend at 107 South Whitley Street.
Okay. And the pool is located there in the right of way. Now, I did drive past the pool. It looked like it was actually movable. Or it's not permanent, is it?
Huh.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm
So,
gonna buy that also.
yeah.
Let's look at that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good right there.
Yeah, it's-
Sidewalk.
yes, yeah, but it's, if it's not a permanent structure, so it's a semi-permanent, right? Because you
It's
have
full of
water in
water.
it and all that kind of stuff, but it is something that if an emergency came up, you could get rid of the water and move it, correct?
Mhm.
Okay, that's the main point. So again, what I said to the previous person, same thing. If it's an emergency, we'll try to get in touch with you ahead of time and try to move it, but
You're trying to put a fence around that?
No,
no.
Oh, okay.
It's just because the pool is in the right of way.
Oh, okay.
my whole yard apparently is. I have no
Yeah.
yard.
If you're on a corner property, that's very common, especially in the older areas of the community, that's very common.
Quite the education with this because I had no idea. We read the guidelines and it said right away, and I honestly thought they were talking about the sidewalks.
Oh, gotcha.
So we kept away from
we
the
started with
sidewalks.
That's true,
So-
but yes. Yep, no problem, no problem. Well, any questions on the utilities or department? Any questions of the department? I figured that wasn't the case. Again, because it's
Well, technically,
pseudo-movable.
before I ever put that, years ago, we had a tree that was there.
It was there?
So it's a good chance there's a bunch of roots under that pool.
Oh, okay.
So,
I gotcha, I hear you. Okay, and so, just as a question, just because I'm curious, will you take that down winter time then?
I was
This
hoping,
winter, we plan to, for
Right.
sure, because we have to.
she's gonna be
re-level
doing
the
it with
ground.
her.
Sorry, I'm her daughter. This year, we plan to, because we have to re-level the ground for it to go back up for next summer.
Gotcha, okay, that's fine. Okay, any other questions from the board? How much?
Do you think this will cover next year? You might ask.
If I take it down, I have to redo this next year?
Well,
No, I'm just
Oh,
asking.
oh, okay.
You might say something.
I would be okay as long as the structure doesn't become a permanent structure.
Oh, no, I don't
Then
plan on anything being
I don't know that I have a
permanent.
problem with just saying it's approved unless
Yeah,
something changes.
How about if I wanted to put a movable deck, a small section? You know, I don't plan on cementing it into the ground, but I'm thinking post.
It'd be up closer to the side closest to the
To the house?
Yeah.
That is a question that the planning and building department would have to answer for
Okay.
you. I think you could make an argument that it is a part of the pool.
Mhm.
Is it movable?
I haven't got anything yet. I was waiting to see what's happening with my pool.
I was gonna say, if it's, again, it would be silly to put a deck up and then have a pool that's movable, right? So
Oh,
if it's a
yeah.
permanent structure, different story, but if it's something that's movable with the pool, I don't think it's a big issue.
No, I was trying to figure out ways to make it happen, like these cement blocks
Yeah.
that they would sit on, and I don't even know if that sounds, so I haven't done anything yet.
That's okay. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it again. The pool is not on the sidewalk, right? It's right.
No, how-
10 feet in on both sides.
It's what?
10 feet in on
10
both
feet in on
sides.
from both sidewalks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. The only reason I'm asking is because the map shows it kind of over top, but I didn't think it was based on my view, so.
Yeah, I didn't notice it on the side.
No.
Oh, no.
So I don't necessarily have a question or have a problem with this being kind of going forward unless there's a change. You know, again, obviously, if you have a permanent structure there, we have a whole different conversation to have, but with this, because it's pseudo-movable, if you will, I don't have a problem with it unless you guys do. Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve the encroachment agreement for 107 South Whitley Street, and unless changes occur, that this that this approval continues into future years.
Second.
Okay? Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor, show the usual sign. It is unanimous.
Okay, and I'll get this to the planning department tomorrow. You can stop back in there then.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you. We have a bunch of curb cut, sidewalk cut, right-of-way permit applications here. The first one, these are, by the way, all all requesting them all to be retroactive. I try not to do that, unfortunately. We also had 3 weeks between the Board of Works meetings, so sorry about that. I try not to do that, but it just kind of happened this time. So first one's for 188 Quail Run. This is in the Deer Chase subdivision. This is for a new depressed curb and drive up to the sidewalk. Kelly, you good with obviously it's already happened, right?
No.
Oh, it has not happened
Last
yet.
I checked, that's what Matt was wanting this to move along
Yeah,
before this Board of Works meeting, because it was supposed to happen.
with the contract,
A week
that's what
or
I
so
thought.
ago.
Yeah,
And the last I looked, it hadn't happened, so.
Okay.
And that was probably like a day ago,
Yeah.
something like that, a day or two, so,
but you've been approving of the plan.
yeah.
Okay. So, any questions on that?
Yeah, it sounded like what we did.
Yes, yes. Make a motion, we approve the curb cut request for 188 Quail Run as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor should be the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is a sidewalk cut for 309 East Van Buren Street. This one did happen,
Yeah,
because I did see it.
yeah, they They had some sewer issues going on, and they had to cut the sidewalk to get as far as they could up to the curb line,
Mhm.
so getting permission to cut the sidewalk.
Yep. Yeah, I saw there was I saw yesterday there was, the hole was cut, and then this morning I noticed there was a pile of dirt, so they must have gotten it taken care of yesterday.
I think he put a clean out right there between the curb and sidewalk.
Oh, he did?
And
Okay.
there's one up by the house, so.
Okay.
They're hoping they don't have to go out into Van Buren Street.
Yeah.
Like, in the future.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of
That'd be a
sense.
permit through the state at that point.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Which actually, wouldn't the clean out in between the curb and the sidewalk be, no, don't talk about it, okay, good. Okay, question, any questions, comments, concerns regarding 309 East Van Buren? Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the sidewalk cut permit for 309 East Van Buren as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. The last one is a curb cut request for 942 South Somerset Trail. Kelly?
Yeah, he's got a crew over there. They're wanting to remove the curb or cut the back of it off to make his approach smoother,
Smoother.
like other people's did. And then looks like they're taking out the whole driveway as well, so
Okay,
there's a crew over there currently.
Okay.
working on that.
cool. Okay, questions? Someone else want to make a motion this time?
I'll make a motion to approve the curb cut at, oh, I lost the address here, just a second. You guys have it?
Top left hand of the.
924 South Somerset Trail.
Yep.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thanks for handling those, Kelly.
Yep.
So I think these are backwards in the packet, right? I think we have, yeah, they're backwards, that's okay. We'll just go in the order of the actual packet. So we'll next do the street closing permit for Prison Fest, because I saw Savannah here. So come on up and tell us what your plans are for 2025.
Okay, let me get there. Sorry for being late, I do apologize.
It's okay, you didn't miss it.
Glad I checked my phone. Okay, so this year was obviously our first year, it was fantastic. Minus the pouring down rain, people were still showing up and our stuff was floating down the road.
Oh, nice.
So we had a very good turnout. However, speaking with Jennifer from the chamber and things like that, I was able to gain access also through the city's events for next year and this year. So I would like to move it to September next year
Okay.
to kind of stay away from the June and July chaos. That's all been established, and I think it's a very good thing for Columbia City, but kind of separating from that. And then the time, so we're requesting September 20th, and then we're gonna push the time back, because even though I drew out maps and handed it to people and told them they were still trying to drive through the farmer's market,
Yeah.
which is a safety issue, and I apologize to everyone that was involved in that. I did push them out, but we are going to push it back later to allow time to set up and things along those lines. And that's why the date or the time is pushed back as well, but we're doing the same thing. This year, Chief Parrott had suggested pushing the North Chauncey back a little bit. There should be a map attached to that.
Yep.
Pushing that back, that way we can get first responders in there for parking and stuff.
Gotcha.
So it's the same thing as First Friday, and it totally makes sense, especially since there's nowhere for the people to turn around if they do get down into that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I know one of the things that Gary had wrote on here was the question of will the organization hire security? And I know that you had I think you had wrote on here somewhere about how you were gonna you anticipate hiring 2 police officers to be there.
the same thing as we did this year.
That's what you did this year?
The same
Okay,
thing,
that's what I
yes.
was just trying
Yes.
to remember, again, just trying to remember what the request was for this year, so.
Yes, we did hire 2 Columbia City
Okay.
officers, and that was fantastic. We did have a lot of positive feedback from that in our
Okay.
responses,
Okay.
with the officers and just, approaching everyone, and it was really just fantastic.
Good, okay.
So we're gonna do the same thing as we did last year. Well, that's the goal.
Well, and again, I think as you and I spoke, I think after we approved the request this year for this year's event, there was a lot of questions from the public as to what was going to take place at the event. And I will be obviously the rain may have changed things a little bit, but I heard nothing from anybody about the content of the event. Again, I appreciate that you and your team want to keep it a kind of a family-friendly scenario. I think that's a very positive thing. And again, I outside of a little bit of maybe concern from people who maybe didn't know what was going to be happening and things like that, I heard nothing about the event negatively.
Right, and it was just false, and like I told you, they had approached us, there was an organization that had approached about doing entertainment, and we had not approved anyone, but they had started publicly saying that they were gonna be there, and that was not the case. And we did serve them a letter, because that's not what we're about.
Yep.
We're here to bring that positive connection to the community, and we're, gonna continue doing it. We came out for downtown cleanup, that's what we're about. Ultimately, it's not anything else, so.
And I think the fact that you're trying to kind of keep it first Friday-ish, I think that's a beneficial thing, so.
Correct.
So I appreciate the letter that you included regarding how the event's gonna take place and because of lessons you learned this year with the farmer's market, that you're kind of pushing that back and setup is gonna be later, so then the event's gonna go later as well. So
Correct.
I think that's a very positive thing as well.
And the road also could be opened up sooner. We cleaned up very, very quickly. I mean,
Okay.
that road was turned
Yeah.
over very quick. Obviously, last year, we don't really have good data to pull from that on how quickly we can get it turned over, which is why I requested a
Sure.
little bit later, so.
Yep, yeah. Any other questions from the board? I'll make a motion, we approve Prism Fest on September 20th as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Yep, have a good one.
Thank you, too.
Next up is the Westgate Subdivision roadway reconstruction pay request from Pulver Asphalt Paving. Kelly, I don't know if you're anything with this or if this is a chip thing.
Yeah, it'd be a chip.
Yeah, okay, it's a chip thing,
And
so.
I've talked to him about
Okay.
it, he's okayed it.
To pay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I will make a motion, we approve pay request number 4 with Pulver Asphalt Paving in the amount of $337,594.34. Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I do have one other one, and I don't know, I think I missed getting this on there.
Okay.
The last one, which Chip had said was okay, and it's, according to Mark.
I'm Jesse from ENC.
This is one that's totally the city's, and it's for, let's see,
Is that sidewalk?
it's for the, let's see. Westgate Avenue, and that was, it's part of the, Culver's thing, but it's totally payable by the
On our
city,
side.
which we've got money
Yeah.
encumbered.
But we just didn't approve the pay app.
Yeah.
And we got to do separate pay apps because some is on community crossing dollars and some is on local, so, okay. We can go.
I told him I tried to do this, and I totally forgot about it last time.
And you said Chip has already approved this?
Yeah. And it's really pay request number 1, but it's because it's the,
It's a separate project.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what is the payment
So we're
amount?
looking at
The payment, wait, what do you mean?
we're looking at the 67?
No, we're looking at this number, the amount due, 161.
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
I make a motion that we approve pay application number 1 in the amount of $161,068.46.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion.
thank you.
All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. Bills. Which one do you want to do first? Checks?
Yes. I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $1,337,250.78 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 8/13/2024 for checks.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $417,183.22 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 8/13/2024 for EFT payments.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion? All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $282,055.99, plus overtime in the amount of $17,831.46, for a total of $299,887.45 for the pay style ending 7/26/2024.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion? All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
And finally, I'll make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $3,803.35 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated 7/26/24 for meter deposits.
Second.
Motion seconded, further discussion? All those in favor, show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Department head reports. Sean.
We're still working away over at Rolling Hills. We have all the conduits are now bored in. We're getting ready to start setting structures. Then we'll pull wire, we'll get all that energized, and we'll move everything off the overhead wire. So it's coming right along. Get tree stumps for the tree board. We've had an eventful year with that, as had issues with stump grinders and everything else, but all these stumps are now ground up, and we are going around town. If you have a pile of brush from a stump, we're gonna pick it up still. We will be replacing it with dirt and seeding and strawing those in the near future, hopefully before it rains on Friday. So we changed some more poles over there on that Rolling Hills project as well. There's a lot of stuff going on there with Mike's project and our project. So we've kind of vacated that area for just a minute to let Mike get his work done, to avoid any more mass chaos in the area. But we've been doing some repairs for some incoming businesses. We've got a business taking over on the Short Street, used to be Warner Electric Building. We did some work there to get that up to date. The old Tickman Point Building, we did some reconductoring there to prepare for the next business going in there. So just trying to get ahead of some of these projects. Also, Osmos Company is in town with their little side-by-side driving around testing poles.
Okay.
I followed them for the first 4 poles, and we were at a 50% fail rate.
Oh, no.
So I left.
That's not
I
good.
refused to come back. They will be giving me an update this week. They should be done testing by the end of the month. So if we continue at the 50% fail rate, that's a lot of work.
Yes, that's a lot of, yeah.
And
a lot of-
unfortunately, I purchased a load of utility poles today. So it's 34 utility poles. In years past, that would have been around $14,000 for those poles. I got a quote for $27,000 and a quote for $21,000.
Jeez.
So that's just where we're at with the cost of materials
Cost,
these days. So, other than that, I did get to spend some time in Wall Street in New York City a couple weeks ago, doing some things with IMPA, some really good stuff. So, if you want to learn any about that, I have a lot of information. Very interesting, very informative.
Great. Question of Sean? Thanks, Sean. Kelly?
Looks like the other 50/50 applicant, we were kind of waiting on him down in Oaken Park to get his driveway done, and then we're gonna take out sidewalk and then match to what he had. So it looks like he's been moving forward on that, so we'll probably be starting that next week. Where we put this 50/50 walk-in across from the dog pound on South Line Street, there was a little stone area that we were kind of waiting to get dug out so we could put asphalt in it. We kind of arranged that to do it with Mike's patches. He's got several water patches around town that he wanted to get asphalted. So his crew went around and dug those out and left them, and then we went up and got binder surface up at Niblock today and went around and filled all that in, patched the spot down at the park at the baseball diamond parking lot too, and then several other areas around. We used about 20 ton of surface today, so that took us right up to the end of the day. So we're hoping we get a rain day or something maybe the end of the week so we can start working on some of the new trucks we're getting in. We got to change some fittings out on the back of them and our salt boxes and things like that.
Gotcha.
So that's it right now.
Questions of Kelly? Thank you. Thomas?
Truck 105, one of the vehicles that we're replacing that's out at Cops Gear is getting closer. We delivered the radio for that out there late last week, so I think they're getting to the final stages to get that put in service here, and then the old one will be ready to get rid of it. Had 2 of our 4 guys that are taking the NFPA 1403 live fire training go through their class. The other 2 are getting ready to head to class to go get their training to put those on. I'll be attending a mass casualty planning training tomorrow here in the county. So I'll be there tomorrow, and then Thursday, I'll be in Brownsburg at a ethanol training. This past Saturday went well. We had the family safety day. I know Kelly was there, a lot of the departments were there, but my department put on a vehicle extrication class, which to me doesn't seem like a big deal to have people see a car get cut apart, but evidently that was very well received. A lot of people really liked seeing that. It's just everyday stuff for us, and we forget it's kind of cool that people get to see stuff like that. So
You hope they don't get to see it in real person, except for in examples like that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
We did get a shed for the training facility to store a lot of our training props and things like that. The mayor graciously allowed, and the council and board works, graciously allowed us to have a shed built so we can keep things like that down there, and it frees up more space here. So that's been done, and I'd like to thank Kelly and his department for setting the base for that to be built on. Kudos to them. We did build another training prop. It's for loading hose. So if you load your hose on a fire truck right, it makes it easier when you pull it out to deploy it. It doesn't turn into a big ball of spaghetti. It makes it more efficient for my guys to stretch it. So we did build one of those, and in doing so, we also applied for a grant to purchase hose to put in that prop that we were awarded, and Rosie signed the paperwork, and things are in play to get that purchased.
Cool. Questions of Tom? Thank you. Mike?
Hopefully the day our bacteria samples pass. If they do, we'll turn our last filter on. All 3 of them are done. We just haven't turned the last one on yet because we've been fighting the chlorine levels and that. We did have a main break, I think it was 2 Fridays ago, out in Eagle Glen. It was a 12-inch line, had probably about a baseball-sized hole in it, so.
Nice.
It was another big one, and we're gonna probably in the next couple weeks start flushing hydrants.
Gotcha. Okay. Questions of Mike? Thank you. Mike?
I was going to talk about the Forest Main projects. Anyway, thanks to him, he sent a guy out this morning to do a locate for me, which was on basically so it's considered private property, but it came out, tried one way, didn't work, put another way, got a perfect signal on it. So that was great, I appreciate that. The open cut part of the project, they've already done the open cut between Madison and Marshall, going up the alley. They've opened that alley up, put the pipe in, covered it back in, the alley's back open. And the boring machine's been running down Jefferson to the east, and I see they have a second boring machine in, so I'm guessing they're probably gonna go west with the other one, something like that. But I know there's 2 machines in there. I don't know if both of them are running. And the only problem we run into so far is the structure on the air release valve had to be moved, but we're still within the right of way. Sean helped us out on that too. As far as finding out exactly where the right of way was. Still waiting on our new permit for the modification on cyanide. I did question them if we still had to test, since they are going to modify it, and I was informed that yes, we still have to follow our old permit until we receive our new one, goes into effect. So we are still testing for cyanide.
And how much, and how many dollars per test? I felt like you said like 200 and some, but I could be wrong.
It's 100, I think it's a little less than 200, since we get to do, revert it back to the older test,
Gotcha.
it's like 100 something test.
Okay, okay.
Instead, on the other one. So waiting on that to get that done, and then, I think I mentioned this before, but the CSO audit on the last meeting, I realized that I said it was on the 14th, which is tomorrow, it's actually the 21st, it will be next Wednesday.
Okay.
Is when we have our audit, so I just wanted to make a correction on that, that it was the wrong date.
Okay.
So, and other than just the day-to-day, you guys have been working on small projects around there and, mowing, trimming,
Yeah.
spraying, the usuals.
Question, Mike? Thank you. A couple of reports from department heads that are not here. So this is from Gary, Chief of Police. One of the 2 new officers has been approved and has officially started on the 10th of August. The other hiree, if you will, has been released by the doctor, is now going to get checked today, actually. So they received a total of 24 applications for the police officer position. 20 of those individuals showed up to the physical agility test. 10 of them passed the standard. 6 of them passed the written test, and they are having formal interviews in early September. They also received 24 applications for communication, for the communication dispatch positions. There's 2 of them. 15 of those individuals passed the test. Half of them were interviewed today, and the other half will be interviewed tomorrow, as I understand. And I think that's it for him. Chip's report is that apparently, I didn't order that up, but pickleball courts are, I think the final, they're gonna start working on the final court, I think within, or the final coat and painting and striping and stuff. I think here in a couple of weeks. The swing is supposed to start to be put together this week, and the skate park is still at TBD. So Westgate is still going pretty well. Because we've had good weather over the last month, they've been able to really catch up on the schedule. I think they're actually planning to be completed sometime at the end of September, which is the original timeline. But then early in the project, we got pushed back because of issues and then the rain and so on and so forth. But I think that's kind of caught back up, thankfully. The test kitchen, which is now being known as the shared kitchen, they are, Chip and Terry are working together to ensure all the communications components, the cameras, the check-in, the badge check-in, things like that are all working through that. I think working with electric on fiber in some way, shape, or form to get those connected. So appreciate everybody involved on that. And kind of on that note, Okie Alley, I think, was maybe power washed today, or at least partially power washed today. I think it was power washed today. And then the wood is going to be treated and sealed tomorrow. But so there is some cleaning of Okie Alley, and then I think after that they're going to work on Thomas Marshall. Terry reports that he's working on starting the fiber project for test kitchen, shared kitchen, and Eagle Park. They're going to do some additional things in Eagle Park so that the whole park will be serviced, if you will. New server being built for SCADA upgrade, and 5 of the 7 servers are approaching end of life, so he's working on getting those replaced. What else have I got here? Park is, nope, that's not Park. That's my cook's report, and he just gave it, so hold on a second. Well, I just deleted it, so I don't know how I did that. But anyways, so I did get a report in some way, shape, or form from Matt, but I can't read it to you because it just disappeared on me. So anyways, but I know they're working on a bunch of different things out of the park. They had a tournament that I think they hoped that the park hosted that went really well apparently. Obviously getting ready for the mother-son Halloween party that's coming up on, I think that, I want to say it's like 25th or something like that of October. Obviously they're getting into the JFL season and all that kind of good stuff, but pool is open for, I think, up to Thursday of this week, and then we'll be open again Saturday and Sunday, and then the following Saturday and Sunday will be open, and that'll be it for the season. So they are winding down very quickly on that. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that was it. So, Marcia,
Nothing.
Rosie.
Nothing.
Only thing I'll say is that, well, there's a bunch of things I'll tell you, so I'll try to make it quick. We do have some, as noted by Sean, we do have a new restaurant moving into the Penguin Point, so more information coming on that. Of course, school begins on Friday, so a lot of open houses for yesterday, and kids are kind of, most kids I think reared up and ready to go back to school, see all their friends and stuff like that. I did attend the groundbreaking, sort of, but dirt turning, if you will, of the Midwest America Federal Credit Union, we'll say reconstruction today. They bulldozed that building, I think, in 24 hours, and are building new on that site. So, so that'll be nice addition in that Walmart shopping plaza area. Right now, I think they're relocated to inside the shopping plaza itself. So once they get the building built, they'll go back there. Next week, just so you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to be at the Indiana Conference of Mayors down in Madison, so I will be, I'll be kind of out of commission a little bit, still available by phone, by email, by text, et cetera, et cetera. And as Tom mentioned, Saturday was the Family Safety Festival, went very well, had probably the best weather of an event I've been at in a long time. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Had a great turnout. Give away over 200 bike helmets for kids and actually for some adults. We had, what, 3 dogs there, I think. We had the Corson, or Casey the fire dog. We had DNR dog Frank, I think. And then had Jake, our dog. So fire department, as mentioned, did their demonstration. Had multiple different, I think we had 2 different EMSs there. Kelly did a paint the plow thing.
Car seat check.
Yeah, car seat check was there. We had the drone, showing the drone demonstration. RMC was there, showing some electrical stuff. It was just really beautiful day. It was 9 to noon, and we were pretty constant that whole time. I don't know if you guys had that, but it was pretty constant, so it was good. I really appreciate Ashley, my assistant, put together all that, all the Summer in the City stuff. That was the last event. Really, really thankful for her and all the work she put in. And I think that it showed, her hard work definitely showed out there. So that's all. Dan,
Okay.
Lisa,
Nothing.
we have no press and we have no audience, so we'll call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.